Hello everyone, I'm back for one last example for those of you that didn't see it the first time or you would like to see one more sample by request. I'm going to move quickly with this one so I can get back to my children and cleaning my kitchen. All right, this was a batch of hollow dough that Rose, Kellen's on here. Oh, wait. Oh, someone's on. I don't know who it is. We might just be waiting for Leanne. I said I would do one more example really fast for anyone that wants to watch. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make this quick and then I'll post this so that anyone can go back and watch.
Wait, where are the chats?
They're coming. All right, so we start with our dough. I'm gonna wait just a minute and see if anyone else comes.
Hi.
We're gonna do this super duper quick. Remember to start with a clean counter. If you're logging back on and you missed it, remember you can always go back because this will be a short live video. I haven't done anything yet except clean my counter and pull my hollow dough that I made early this morning because I made, I think, 7 batches. Pulled it out of the fridge. Hi, Leanne. So I pulled out my hollow dough. All right? I'm going to cut this in half. And when I say cut, you can use a knife like I did, or you can just grab half like I also am doing, okay? So I've got some hollow dough right here. And I'm gonna grab myself a little bit of flour. Doesn't really need it, but I like to roll on some flour so it doesn't stick, okay? Hi, Leanne. All right, so we're just gonna roll it out just like we did the other pieces. Roll out your dough. If it feels a little sticky at all, take another little bit of flour, sprinkle it on top, that's fine too. And you wanna just roll it out. Somewhat of a rectangle. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Give yourself room to work because I'm running out of space here with my rolling pin. And you want it to be something like 10 by 12, 9 by 11. It doesn't have to be perfect. And maybe about half an inch thick or so on a really clean surface. We're rolling into a rectangle, okay? Let's see. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Laura. Hi, Susan. You guys are back. I love you. You're like my crew. I love it. Okay. All I've done so far is I just pulled out some more hollow dough because, you know, why not? And I have it rolled out on my counter. This one feels a little stickier. This is a little stickier, you guys. I think it got too warm. I'm going to flour the counter one little drop so that it doesn't stick when I try to roll it. Okay? It shouldn't be sticky. Usually it's not, but for whatever reason, today was a drop. This was a drop sticky. Okay. So roll out your dough. I still have chocolate filling left, so I'm going to go ahead and make another chocolate one. And just like before, pour your chocolate filling. Remember, it's melted butter, melted chocolate. Once it melts, we add cocoa powder and either granulated or powdered sugar, some cinnamon, pinch of salt if you want, espresso powder would be great, anything to this basic recipe, okay? So go ahead and pour out your chocolate, spread it, and give yourself a border. So the cinnamon, we don't need a border, but the chocolate, we don't want it to ooze out the sides too much. So spread it, just give yourself a little bit of room on the edges. This was what was left over, so I would have liked a little bit more, but it's okay. I'll supplement with a little more chocolate chips. All right, so just spread your filling. If you're using Nutella or chocolate spread, whatever you're using, just spread that all over the top, okay? Stop me if you have questions because we're a small group right now. But this will be a good tutorial to post. So I used semi-sweet chocolate and unsweetened cocoa powder in the melted chocolate mixture, but I'm using milk chocolate chips in this mixture. I don't know, a half, 3/4, a cup. I keep thinking it's enough, and then it looks like it needs more chocolate. Why not? This will be Shabbat dessert tonight, so why not? Hi, my other daughter just walked in. Hi, Els. All right. What? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna move my rolling pin. I've got it rolled out, chocolate spread, chocolate chips, and I'm gonna roll, okay? So you wanna start on your long edge. Either one, it doesn't matter. And you want to roll it up into a log. And as you roll, remember the chocolate one's messy too. You'll get chocolate on your hands. It's fine. As you roll, you want to sort of just push it down so that all your filling rolls over and stays inside and doesn't
Can we
fall out.
come for dinner too?
Oh, I wish you could. How fast can you get here from Toronto? Can you? I would break social distance for you, my dear, dear friend I love so much. Okay, so I have a long log. Remember, if you want it to be perfect, I kind of just like, this end looked a little thicker than this end, so I'm just sort of smushing it until it's like even. If you want it to be perfect, chop off those little ends. If you don't care, leave it. I usually think, why waste the dough, right? Because I've wasted a chunk of dough.
Not
By
fast.
doing that, I'm not fast enough?
I know.
You can't get there fast enough. Okay. Your hollows look so good today, Nick. Tell Lex I said congrats. I love them. Okay. Nikki's one of my very best friends from when we lived in Israel when we were 18. We had a lot of babka and rogalach and challah together, let me tell you. Gas station bakery. All right, we're cutting lengthwise. Remember, this is crosswise, this is lengthwise. Sharp knife. It does help if you have the time and the patience to stick this in the fridge or the freezer for 10 or 15 minutes before you cut it. It does make it easier to cut and it will stay together a little bit better. Obviously, I'm not doing that for this class, and the truth is I usually don't do it because I never want to take the extra time. But it does help, okay? Make sure you have a loaf pan ready. I'm doing a long one this time. Spray it. Okay? And we want to turn it cut side up. Make sure your knife cut all the way through all that dough. It's important that it's separated into your two. Right now you have two halves of your log. Okay? You know what, I'll have Levy pick up the camera one more time and show you guys. Instead of having to look at me, you'll look at this. All right, so two halves cut side up. Start here, and then sort of like we're braiding challah, but with just two pieces, okay? And we just want to lift up and over all the way to the end, and then I like to fix it because it got a little bit thinner and I want it to be even. So I just go back and fix it right at the top. So now I have this really long log, okay? This is a lot of dough for this pan. So if I was using a different loaf pan, but I'm out of them because all three of mine are being used, I only have three, I would go like this and make a U shape, and then I would twist these halves together into the big loaf pan. These loaf pans are not wide enough for that to happen. So I actually, I'm actually going to cut it in half, you guys, and make two because it's big. Let me grab one more pan. Okay, I'm back, sorry. So if yours looks as long as mine and your pans are about my size, cut it in half. Okay, and I'm literally just going to cut it in half. And I'm going to put one half of my babka, which is going to rise a lot in here. And I'm going to put the other half, but I'm going to fix it because it should be my cut sides facing up. That's what looks pretty. That's what gives it that swirled look on top into this half. So I now have two chocolate babkas that are going to rise and fill these pans. This is about the right amount of dough for this size pan. So I'm going to take a clean dish towel again and just cover it. All right, I'm going to let it rise an hour and a half, 2.5 hours on the counter. Yep, it's 3:30. I'm going to let it rise till like 5:15, 5:30. I'm going to check them at 5 and I'll see how they're doing. Then I'm going to put egg wash, and I'll probably use streusel because I don't want to waste this, right? And I'll bake them 20-25 minutes at 350. When they're done, I'll pull them out and I will use some of that simple syrup, which is just sugar and water, equal parts, brought to a simmer on the stove. Let me show you, in case you're not familiar. Simple syrup looks like water with a little bit of color from the melted sugar. That's it. Okay, just dissolving sugar and water, equal parts, till they melt. simmer a minute or two. Don't let it come to a boil. You're not making caramel. And then you just spoon them over the top of the babka. So it should look like this when it's done. Okay, beautiful. This one's cinnamon, but a beautiful braided, twisted, yummy cinnamon swirl streusel babka. Okay? I hope that helps. Any questions before I hop off? Leanne, oh, you're so sweet. Anybody else? Questions before we log off? Hopefully all the videos will post. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I hope I answered all the questions. I hope you see a before and after, right? This is after. And I got a lot of befores now, but this is before. All right, before, and then they're gonna rise a lot.
You're the
really
best.
Beautiful when they are done. Does that help? I hope. What should I do with this last piece, you guys? Should I make another challah? Or should I make another babka?
Any special wrapping instructions for freezing baked babkas?
You want to wrap it really well in foil. And even a plastic storage bag would be a good idea. You guys, mine as well while we're sitting here.
Syrup is when it's cool.
Nope, the syrup is when it's warm. It could be when it's cool, but the syrup when it's still warm out of the oven so it really absorbs in. All right, if you're on, you're stuck with me. If you're on, you cannot log off because now you got me involved with way more babka than one person should have in their house.
A round challah.
Round challah, I rolled it out already. I can't make challah, but a minute ago I could have. Okay. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a cinnamon one. Soften butter. You see, this is a nice shape and size. This is my regular challah dough, you guys. This was not meant to be babka dough, which is really not that different. I just add cinnamon. A lot of people had trouble with their dough being too dense. I should have asked. I hope it worked itself out. It's just with the 4 egg yolks, sometimes you don't need all the water depending on the size of your egg. So I say to start with a cup, but you might need the full 1/3. So it's possible that anyone that had it too dense maybe just didn't put enough water and too much flour.
Woman, you have skills.
Okay, soften butter. Let me move this delicious babka out of the way. Soften butter. This is not enough. So if you guys bear with me for half a second, I told you I have more in the pantry, so let me grab it.
Woman, you have skills. I love you, and you are the absolute best.
Okay, here we go. Thank you, whoever said that.
Oh,
I love you guys. Okay, this is, why not? This is leftover from last week. This is pecans and golden raisins and brown sugar. So I guess we're making a pecan raisin babka, just like I told you. It's whatever you like, whatever you have. We do not waste food in my house. There's 6 people. Food is expensive. I don't like to waste food. We eat leftovers. I don't throw things out. So this I saved from whatever, Rugelach 2 weeks ago. But it's all fresh in a little bag. So now we're having a golden raisin and pecan cinnamon sugar babka. How good does that sound? Who's coming for dinner? I wish. I miss having dinner with everybody. Okay. Unlike the chocolate filling where you don't pat it in, this one I like to pat into the butter so it really sticks. Okay? Let's start rolling from the long side. Okay, it shouldn't be sticking, just like mine isn't. If yours is sticking, use a spatula to help yourself, and then you can put a little flour if you need to on the rolled side if it feels really sticky. Okay. And then I like to, when I get to the end, I like to lift this way instead of rolling one more time because I don't want this bit of filling to fall out. So I just lift up.
What are you making next week?
Who asked that? What are we making?
Arlene.
I don't know. I've been asked for zucchini bread, banana bread. I've been asked for food.
People want cheese blintzes.
Cheese blintzes. I can make blintzes. I just feel like people are sick of me, you guys. All right. What are we doing here? Because let me see what we're doing here. I'm looking at my pans.
You're frozen.
I'm frozen.
That's it.
I'm not frozen. I just disappeared for a sec. I'm looking at all my pans are being used. I'm grabbing 2 more paper ones. Oh, I only have 1 more. All right. Paper loaf pan. Spray. Okay. Cut our logs lengthwise. Remember, it's very easy to do this if you refrigerate or freeze it for a little bit. So I didn't do that, so it's a little bit trickier and messy, but it's fine. Like you see, the layers do look like they come apart, but it all works itself out. Okay, I want to turn it so the cut side's up. This one's falling apart, but I'm not worried because I know how to fix it. I just pull everything up and make sure that I keep it all together. And once it twists, you just kind of like put it back together, if that makes sense. This is a long one. I should have cut the log in half first. That's all right. I like it twisted with my cut side up because that's what looks pretty, right? This is what gives Babka that swirly. I'm afraid it's going to be too big if I was going to maybe, oh, I should show you guys another cool method. Maybe I'll show you. Should I? Okay, I'll show you. You cut your log into small pieces like this. I didn't do this before because it's a whole nother confusing section. And then you place them side by side in your baking dish. And then it bakes together into one long, beautiful babka. I'll show you in a sec in case you're confused what I did, but I just don't want to lose this filling. So I just scoop it up. Remember, my counter is super clean, but I don't want to lose that. Okay, look what I did. So I took my long log and I just cut the twist into sections and laid each section side by side. So I get a different style babka that looks really beautiful when it's all done. Okay.
Is the wash egg in water or yolk?
I use the whole egg and a little bit of water. Some people like to only use the yolk, but I like to use the whole egg and a little bit of water. All right, everything's gonna get covered, everything's gonna rise, then it will get egg wash, it will bake, blah, blah, blah. You got it. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this makes sense. Can't wait to see the pictures, the flour right all over me. And Shabbat Shalom. Love you all. Thank you for baking.
Thank you.
Bye.